Welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Your host, Jill Hart, the Coach's Alchemist. Couldn't be more excited to have you join us today. On this podcast, we celebrate the champions of change, the up-and-coming life, health and transformational coaches who are fearlessly stepping forward to make a difference in the world. Get ready for inspiring stories, practical tips, and powerful moments that will motivate you to make a positive change in your life and those around you. We're happy to have you join us on this incredible journey as we dive into the world of life, health, and transformational coaches who are lighting up the path towards a better tomorrow.
Hi, and welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Today we have Nicole Staudt with us. Nicole is the coach of the Bombshell Warriors, empowering women to confidently live their happiest, healthiest life through sustainable changes. Welcome to the show, Nicole, with your Christmas tree in the background. I love it. We were talking about how you like to just leave it up all year because it makes you happy. So
it totally does. Who doesn't love Christmas? It should make everyone happy.
It should. Whether you believe whatever you want, it's just a really fun time of year and you can have a great time. And it's nice that you just carry that spirit with you all year long. So Tell us, how did you get started in coaching?
Oh, goodness. Yeah. So I've been into health and fitness all my life. My background is I grew up in ballet and competitive gymnastics. So health and fitness have always been really important to me. When it came time to pick a major in college, I knew I wanted to make an impact, and I worked really well with kids. So I went the teaching routes and studied elementary education. But just all throughout my life, health and fitness has always been important. And I even worked at my college gym when in college. So it's always been a part of my life, but I just never knew what kind of career I could make out of that passion of health and fitness. And it wasn't until 2019 I hired a fitness coach because I wanted to get my abs back from the days I was a gymnast, and I was going to Cabo that summer for my birthday. And I just wanted to feel a little bit more confident in a bikini. So I hired him and got some results. But that experience, while it helped change the direction of my career from, yes, I'm still teaching and doing things in education, but I'm now building this nutrition coaching business because of that experience. And I was like, wow, you can make a career online coaching others on their health and fitness. And I had friends asking me, you're looking amazing. What are you doing? And so I was like, I had always said in college, if I didn't study elementary education, I would do something with fitness or nutrition. So at that point, I was able to see that, I could build a business of coaching women on their weight loss. But that experience of working with the coach at the same time wasn't as great as I thought it was in the moment. I have since seen how he wasn't the best coach. And the reason I say that is because for most of the time I was working with him, I lost my period. And that really drove the direction of me going the hormone health route with women, because you should be able to lose weight in a very healthy way without losing your menstrual cycle. And I didn't see that as a red flag when working with him, because all my life I battled terrible cramps. And I was just like, yay, I don't have to deal with this every month anymore. And it wasn't a red flag to me. I just thought my body was adjusting to my new workout regimen and the nutrition protocol I was on. But little did I know that I'm aware of now, it was way too much exercise. I was eating too little. That's why my period disappeared. And it was a huge red flag that this coach did not take into account. Once I told him what was going on, he didn't care. So that helped to shape the direction of my business, going the hormone health route, just because of the painful periods, and you should be able to lose weight without losing your menstrual cycle. So that's how I got into the space in a nutshell. So beginning of 2020, I was like, all right, I want to do this. And then the whole world went completely crazy. And so all my friends who are wanting to work with me, they're like, hold on, we need to figure out what's happening with life. So it wasn't until the end of 2020 that I officially was like, stepping into this role as a nutrition coach. So that's the short story of how I
That
got
is a
started.
very, very profound story, actually, on several levels. One, when you were talking about hiring a coach and you hired a man, because predominantly in the fitness arena, it's men. Men are coaching, and really men and women's bodies are totally different.
Yes, very
They
different.
have different hormones. You can dress up any way you want, but your body chemistry doesn't operate the same way ours does. And when you're listening to things that work for men, almost universally, it's going to cause you problems physically if you try to implement them. The whole eat less, exercise more thing, it's a great way to gain weight for women.
It is.
You'll just hang on to anything it's got because you never know. And then it'll rob from your bones and your teeth and your eyesight and your hair. All those things start messing up.
Over the weekend, I had women telling me that, like, I'm eating 1,200 calories and I've never felt better. I'm feeling awesome. I'm like, sure, you're losing weight quickly. You're going to feel better initially, but then when you start gaining it all back, like, come see me. I'll help you.
Right.
Like, don't eat 1,200 calories. That's the required
Starvation
calorie
mode.
amount of a toddler. Ladies, you are not toddlers. Stop eating 1,200 calories. You need to eat more than that.
Yeah, but you need to eat the right things. The right things is like what makes all the difference.
It really does.
Your body starts setting lower. The less you eat, the less you need to eat.
Yeah.
And you can race your body all the way down to zero.
Your metabolism definitely adapts. And I think a lot of women aren't aware of that. For some reason, all the calorie tracking apps recommend 1,200 calories. And it's like, no, your body's going to adapt to that. Then what's going to happen when you start feeling so restricted because you're only allowing yourself 1,200 calories? You are going to gain the weight back like that because you're already eating so little. Give yourself that food freedom, but definitely eat the right foods and good quality foods too. And that's a lot of what I work on with my clients, are those habits of eating more nutrient dense foods, but still leaving room for the fun foods, because you have to enjoy the birthday party or pizza night or date night or brunch with the friends and mimosas or whatever. But it's being healthy about it and being mindful around food.
Yeah. And not just mindlessly eating. Eating with purpose and choosing when you're going to do those splurgy things.
And then having no regret.
Yeah.
Not feeling guilty.
Because the regret in itself will cause you to gain weight.
Yeah.
That's, I think, why people can look at chocolate cake and they want it so badly and they're like, oh, and I gained 5 pounds. I didn't even eat it. Well, yeah, because you just stressed your body out, shot a whole bunch of cortisol through it. And you just gained 5 pounds from the other stuff you ate.
I'm like, eat the cake, eat the cookie. Like, don't deprive yourself. Now, I heard someone say once on a podcast that they are like a carb snob. And I was like, I like this like train of thought that like this person doesn't eat anything in sight. The cake, the cookies, like, he's very particular. It has to be like homemade, really good, like good quality. So that's what I look for. If I'm going to splurge on something, it has to be worth it.
Yeah. Make it expensive, because you're not going to eat very much of it.
Exactly. So that's when I splurge, it's on something that's worth it in my eyes. It's not just anything. So
Now, I know you have 4 pillars of health. Do you want to go over those?
Yes. So of course you have your exercise, which most people think of when they think of being healthy, like, oh, I need to exercise. And a lot of people hate exercising, but I help my clients learn to love it, because as women, it's empowering to be able to lift weights in the weight room with the men and feeling strong, and like being one of the only girls hanging with all the boys. Like, I love that feeling at the gym. So for me, it's empowering being able to lift strong. So exercise is one, and then nutrition is another pillar of health. And I think those are the two that most people associate. Like, when they want to lose weight, they need to diet, and exercise is like the words I always hear. So we know exercise and nutrition play a huge role in our health. But I think a lot of people underestimate the power of sleep and having good sleep as being a pillar. If your sleep is poor and completely off, it's messing with your hormones, it's messing with your metabolism, it's influencing your gut health, and all of those are influencing your weight loss progress. Like if you can just get your sleep and sleep quality under control, then that's going to unlock so many things for you. Improve your hormone health, help you be less stressed, balance out your hormones. Like sleep is so important. And then sleep is also tied to stress, which I call the fourth pillar. These things keep falling out of my ears. But stress doesn't just have to be the life stress, the running the kids all over the place and, being stressed out at your job because you have so many things to do. And then like you're stressed in your relationships or with family, like that all contributes to stress, sure. But stress is also found in what's the state of your gut health? Is your body getting the nutrients that it needs, or is it deprived of nutrients? That's stress. If you're not sleeping well, that's an added stress. What's happening with your blood sugar? If you're riding a blood sugar roller coaster all day, that's stress. And sleep is going to impact your blood sugar. So all of these four pillars are related. And we often overlook the power of reducing stress in our lives and getting enough sleep. But all four of them really play into each other and they're all interconnected. But those are the four pillars I focus on with my clients.
So what do you think about stress and mindset? How do they play in together?
Oh, yeah. They are definitely so connected. I mean, you have your gut health affecting your brain affects your gut health. So your mindset is going to affect the state of your health, and your mindset affects your stress. I have a client I am working with, and we're working a lot on mindset because she is always stressed and she's always worried. And so I've been telling her a lot lately, like your stress is impacting your health. You're seeing all of these health issues manifest because of beliefs that you hold on to, because of stress that you are keeping within your body. And that's going to take like other levels of working on yourself and working through that stress to be able to release it. And then changing your mindset that you aren't a bad person, that you are capable. I mean, she's grown up with messages of being told she's pretty much worthless, and changing that and instilling this empowered belief in her that she is capable. And as we've been creating consistency and just small consistent wins, she's been able to see like, oh, I can do this. And it's been empowering for her. So yeah, mindset and stress affect each other, and it does affect your overall health for sure.
That sometimes you can, when you're not acknowledging your emotions, that they can actually attack your organs in your body,
Oh, that's
which is
interesting.
part of the stress. They get trapped in your organs. There's interesting modalities around removing that. There's something called the body code that it's all about. You've heard of it?
I think. I'm not sure.
Kind of new, but I've had somebody do it with me. And I've seen it done for other people. It's really interesting. And it's all about just letting your body tell you through muscle testing what's going on and where the issues are.
Yeah.
Just kind of a unique sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So what makes what you're doing different from like what other coaches do out there for fitness?
I feel like a lot of coaches, I feel like a lot of coaches, at least the one I worked with, and I still see this a lot within coaching, and sometimes I feel like maybe it's not just prevalent to males, like there's probably female coaches doing this too, but where they're more or less just focused on the macros. Like if it fits your macros, just eat a certain amount of calories, do all this exercise. It's very like calories in, calories out. Whereas what I do, I show women how they can be healthy without having to slash calories down to 1,500 or less. Like I started getting really nervous if I have to lower clients' calories for a deficit to 1,600. I'm like, let's keep it like 1,800 or above. Like I want my clients to be able to eat food because I know the more food that they can eat, the more nutrients they're getting into their bodies to support their gut and their hormones. So with what I do with my clients is really focus on the gut health and the hormones. And usually weight loss is a byproduct of that. So I'm not going to just give you your macros and just be like, all right, like just hit your macros every day and you'll see results. It's restoring your gut health to restore your hormone health and making sure you're getting in your nutrients. So I've recently added functional lab testing to my program so that clients can get an HTMA hair test to test the minerals in your body, which are impacting your gut and your hormones, and then also doing a GI map. So we can really just get a look like what's happening in your gut. Is there something there that's inhibiting weight loss and making it difficult and making it hard to sustain your results? Is there a reason why you're craving chocolate all the time? Well, maybe you need more magnesium, and we're going to see that in the HTMA test. So it's really taking a holistic approach to your health and getting deep into the root causes and not just, oh, you're not losing weight on 1,800 calories and, exercising 5 days a week. Well, let's exercise 7 days a week and bring you down to 1,200 calories. And then you're just going to feel worse and gain the weight back. And that's the approach my coach that I worked with did. And other coaches out there are still doing. So I like giving my clients results, being able to work out as little as possible and eat as much as they can.
Yeah, I
Which
gotta
is
love
so
that.
backwards. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't want you working out 7 days a week. I mean, 1 to 3 days a week of a full body workout plus walking is sufficient for most women. You don't need to kill yourself at your Orange Theory class 5 days a week and leave dripping sweat and feeling sore all the time. That's only hurting you and getting to your goals. So
yeah, your body does need time to recover from a workout. And, just even if you're running, you shouldn't run every single day because your body needs time to rebuild that muscle fiber. That's when you work out, you're destroying muscle fiber. That's what makes you bulk up. It's the repair job.
Right. You have to, like, rest is part of that process. If you want to look lean and toned, you need to rest so that the muscle fibers can repair themselves so you can build that muscle and look lean and toned. Like, looking lean and toned is not about being in a calorie deficit. It's actually about building muscle, which means you have to eat more. You have to be in a surplus. And most women just think they need to slash calories to look lean and toned. No, you need to build up the muscle, and that requires fuel, it requires calories. So let's actually eat food. And
it is the muscle is the metabolism, just like your gut is your immune system. We really aren't taught these things in school. Like this is how stuff functions. Your brain does actually have thoughts that are connected to your head. Your head is a lot of it is just the computer aspect of keeping everything else going. But you do have things that you feel in different places, like your gut. The gut reaction, it's telling you something. It's trying to send you a message, but if it's not intellectually accepted, we tend to just cast it to the side. It's not important,
for sure.
But really it's very important. It's your stress indicator. It's like something's going wrong here. I'm not in alignment with the way I like to be as a body. You need to do something about it, brain.
So in the work I do, I mean, that's the approach I take. And I stress to women all the time, like, if you want a fast metabolism, you need to lift weights and build muscle and eat more food. That's going to speed up your metabolism, not running 7 days a week. That's going to slow down your metabolism. So I actually just did a workshop last week all about that, on just boosting your metabolism and reverse dieting, because that's what I have to do with most clients when they come to me.
Is the workshop online anywhere? Can people get access to it?
I can send them, or we can put the link in the show notes for that workshop.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a link.
That'd be really awesome. I personally would like to watch it.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, I
always
like
about
that
learning,
one.
learning new stuff and exploring different attitudes about health. And most coaches have different ideas about things, and yours is kind of a unique approach.
Mhm.
Build your muscles and eat food, eat real food.
Yeah,
What are your
it's
thoughts
kind
on
of goes against
cooking?
the diet industry. Cooking, oh, I love cooking and baking. Those are huge passions of mine. I don't eat out a lot personally because I would just rather make food at home because I can control what ingredients are being used. Normally, when you are going out to eat, a lot of the cheaper industrialized processed oils are being used, which can be inflammatory for your body and your hormones and can impact your gut health. So yeah, every once in a while I'll enjoy eating out, but I love cooking at home and trying new recipes. I have a sweet tooth, so I love baking and finding healthier ways to bake cookies and brownies and things like that to enjoy for dessert. So people in my community know that I love dessert. I love chocolate. Normally don't go a day without eating chocolate. Um, and then I'm always like posting recipes inside my Facebook group and just sharing healthier ways to enjoy the foods you love. And then
What are your
sometimes
thoughts on Swerve?
Swerve. I'm not sure
You
I
use
have thoughts and opinions about that. I've used it before
Mhm.
because it's a like a 0-calorie sweetener. I would have to look at the ingredients again and
Isn't
kind of
actually it's erythritol, but it doesn't
Mhm.
spike your insulin levels, and it
That
has I know this for a fact.
okay.
Um, and it also functions the way sugar functions when you're baking,
Okay.
which is kind of an interesting. I use it a lot
Hmm.
instead of sugar because sugar is just like
Hmm.
so bad for you. I don't use a lot. We don't eat a lot of sweet stuff in our house,
Yeah.
but if we're gonna do something like, pumpkin pies at Thanksgiving, it's
Yeah.
it's a good
Alternative.
we've found it to be good. I'm not going to
Hmm.
say it's good for everybody because different people have different reactions to different things. Like I don't like stevia.
Exactly.
I
Hmm.
I know it's supposed
And
to be
then that's
natural,
what I
but
use a lot. Hmm.
it is actually processed. The stevia that you get in the store. Um, so it's not like as all natural as you might be led to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I can find monk fruits, that's typically what I like to get,
Mhm.
but that can be a lot more expensive. So if I'm able to find it like on sale, then I'll get that. Otherwise, I do typically stick to stevia, and sometimes I'll cut down the sugar in the recipe and then like add in stevia so that it's both sugar and stevia, just so
Mhm.
because like sugar can change, like can help with the chemistry of the recipe. So by
Right, right.
completely eliminating the sugar, it might change the consistency and the chemistry. So I try to leave sometimes some of it in there and then just cut it down a little bit. So I'm always experimenting with recipes, and sometimes they work and sometimes they are absolute fails. As long as they taste good, I eat it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That's all that matters. So it's gonna live in the
Yeah.
freezer. It wants to be in the solid form.
Yeah. And then I've also been making my own sourdough bread, which has benefits for your blood sugar and gut health just because of the natural fermentation process. So yeah, I love cooking and baking, and that's something
So what are your
I do
thoughts?
quite
I
a bit.
make sourdough every week
Mm.
also. And I make tortillas for my husband because
Oh,
he likes to have like he likes to have something that he can just make himself because he's not a really good cook at all. Though he did make me eggs for breakfast over the weekend. I was so shocked.
oh, nice.
First time in 28 years he's cooked for me.
How sweet.
Was really sweet. But we make tortillas from scratch, but I wanted to ask you about the flour component. I know with
Mhm.
sourdough, it's the same thing. You're having to deal with adding flour. And I'm not convinced flour is not genetically modified on some level. So I tend to try to use like King Arthur's flour when I use
Mhm.
flour because I think it's a better quality. But do you have thoughts on that?
Um, Not definitively. It just depends on what it is I'm baking. Like there are a lot of times when I'm baking things like let's say pancakes or brownies, for example, where I will use alternative flours like maybe tiger nut flour or cassava flour, coconut flour, like some of those alternative flours that I just think, or in my mind, they're more nutritious and they're less inflammatory, but it's not going to be that way for everyone. Just generally they can be. But when it comes to sourdough, I've just been using generic flour, but yeah, King Arthur it feels like it's better quality. Sometimes it's just a matter of what my budget can afford. And since I'm like teaching still as well, so sometimes it's a matter of the budget too. So, but
that
yeah,
doesn't fit everything in life.
yeah, but yeah, I try to look for more quality ingredients when I am baking, just because I feel better about it. So when you bake, you're still able to control ingredients as much as possible. So even look for chocolate chips that have fewer ingredients, just because that's a healthier option than all the added stuff that can be in chocolate chips. So take the time at the store and read the ingredients, because it will surprise you what they slide into things that just don't need to be in there. So
yeah, the whole reason we started making tortillas is we're on a Crisco ban in our house. We use lard.
Yeah.
It's natural, and it's an animal fat. And
yeah,
Crisco is, I think, plastic, but I can't prove it.
I mean, it basically is. I've looked at the ingredients before, and I'm just appalled by that stuff, and I won't buy it anymore. I won't use it in my baking anymore. And that's how Mom bakes her chocolate chip cookies, and my dad makes his homemade biscuits, which are so good. And I'm like, I can't bring myself to put that in food anymore.
Yeah.
I'll use
chocolate chips, you can find it in
or...
chocolate chips too. And that's why you have to be really careful with the kind of chocolate that you buy, because cheap chocolate they don't call it Crisco, but it's vegetable shortening, which I don't think it's vegetable. I don't know.
Yeah.
In my world, it's not vegetable and it's not shortening.
Yeah.
Unless it's shortening your life.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm definitely that annoying person in the grocery store that's like stopping to like pull different things off the shelf and read the ingredients. And I don't care what people think. I want to support my own health and my own hormones, because I've been on my own journey of improving my own hormone health. And it's paying off, getting the testing done and getting down to the root causes. And so that's what I'm able to do for my clients. And that's why I take this holistic approach and help them find those healthy alternatives, and share how you can still enjoy brownies for dessert, but just in a healthier way with more wholesome ingredients.
You really can eat a wide variety of foods if you know how to cook. You're just not afraid to try a recipe. What's the worst that can happen? I mean,
it's a fail, and if you can still eat it, then eat it. Just don't share it with people.
yeah. And develop a repertoire of at least 10 to 15 things that you're really good at cooking that you like. I encouraged all my kids when they were growing up, find 5 or 10 things that you really like to eat, learn how to make it, because you can always make it for yourself. So you're not going to go hungry, and you're not going to be eating like fast food. Because you have something you know how to make. And then, we've got the internet. It's not like you have to go to the library and check out cookbooks anymore. You can get on your phone and look stuff up. These are the ingredients. There's even an app. I have these ingredients at home. What can I make? And they'll give you recipes with it. I wish I could remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it either. But I think that's how I stumbled across an Alfredo recipe that I make all the time. And it's not the healthiest. So it's one of those where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this, knowing that it's made with cream cheese and Parmesan cheese and whole cream, like heavy cream.
You don't have to eat that much of it.
No, but it's the best Alfredo sauce ever.
To be satisfied.
And just one of those where I have these ingredients, and then this recipe popped up, and it was the most amazing Alfredo sauce I've had in my life. And so everyone asked me for the recipe. But yeah, cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, and heavy cream. That's the base of it. And butter.
And butter. Yeah, can't forget the butter.
makes everything better.
I think there was one time I was watching a cooking show about Paula Deen and her sons. And they asked her sons what Paula's favorite condiments are. And he said butter and mayonnaise. I'm like, yeah, she's my kind of gal.
That's awesome.
So I know you have something that you offer people when they go to your website, and I opted into it, but I haven't been able to read it yet. You want to tell people about what that is? It had chocolate chip cookies on it. So, I mean, I'm really getting excited to find it.
Gosh, so my website is about to go through a whole like evolution, just a whole update. When my website first launched, it was a healthy chocolate recipe guide that I had on there. And then I think I changed it to like my 5 tips for fat loss, but that doesn't resonate with me anymore with the hormone direction I'm going in, because to lose body fat in a healthy way, you have to have healthy hormones. So I'm about to update that to like a 3-part, here's the real reasons why you are not losing weight series. So, but within that series, I could probably drop my healthy chocolate recipe guide, because who doesn't love chocolate recipes? Like, I'm pretty sure everyone in my community, if you are in my community, you better love chocolate, because chocolate and desserts, that's how I roll. So yeah, I can always include that guide in the series I'm about to create. So yeah, there's a lot that I'm just evolving as a coach, which means my website and the offers I'll be, like the free offers I will have, will be a lot different as well. But yeah, and in the beginning, it was a little chocolate recipe guide. So,
Well, I'm hoping to find it in my inbox here pretty soon. I had to go confirm it, so that it's on me that it's not in there. So
yeah. Well, if you don't find it, let me know and I will send it to you, because I still have the PDF somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll hook you up.
Because I do love chocolate.
Right? Who doesn't? Is my question.
I actually have met some people that don't like chocolate. It makes them physically ill. Just like there's something wrong with you.
How is that possible? Chocolate is life, but you know, all of our bodies are different, and that's why you need a coach for your health,
Yeah.
because you can't, it's hard to figure all of this out on your own. I mean, I even have a health coach friend who gives me guidance when I need it, just because sometimes you can't see what's going on in yourself, because you are in yourself and in your body all the time. You need those outside eyes to come in and be like, oh, this is what you might be missing. Maybe this food isn't good for you. Let's take it out for a time and see if you notice a difference, you know.
And just being part of a group, because when you're in part of a group, you've got other people asking questions that you hadn't even thought of, but can be life-changing for you if you implement the answer. Just like, to me, the groups are where the magic happens. Just I've had it. My own personal experiences is I've gotten so much more out of the connections I've made in the groups than even just the individual coaching. So what's the one thing you want to leave the audience with that you hope they take away from our conversation?
Oh, goodness. Well, since I work mostly with women, it's just imploring to women that if you feel like with your health, if you have tried everything and you're beating your head against the wall, or like you've lost the weight, but you always gain it back, and you're just in this frustrated place, then there's probably something deeper going on. And we need to look at your hormones, your gut health, and your metabolism to really assess, why is it difficult to lose the weight? Why are you having a hard time keeping it off? Or if you've been from doctor to doctor because you know you have hormone issues and they keep telling you it's all in your head, everything is fine, then those are also the women who come to me, be like, I don't know what else to do. Doctors keep telling me everything is normal, everything is fine. But because I've been trained in a holistic way under like functional medicine or like functional health practices, I can look at things a little bit differently than a traditional doctor can. So like, don't stop advocating for your health, and just keep looking deeper, but you have to look at the root causes, and a lot of doctors won't do that. But also know, like, you don't have to live with a diagnosis. There's a lot you can do health and lifestyle and nutrition wise for anything that you have. And that's the work I do. So
That's wonderful. So how can people get in touch with you?
they can follow me on Instagram at fit.bombshell.warriors. I have that same handle on Threads as well, if anyone is still trying to use Threads, which like happened 2 weeks ago, and I feel like half the people already forgot about it. And then my Facebook group is titled Fit with 2 I's, FIIT, Fit and Empowered Hormone Health for Women. So you can also find me there on Facebook. So Facebook and Instagram is where I hang out the most.
Perfect. We'll be sure and put those notes in the show notes. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today, Nicole. It's been great chatting with you.
It's been great chatting with you as well.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at the You World Order, or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.